What is an emotion, right? Like, okay, so has anyone ever seen an atom? Probably not. Not that we know of. Has anyone ever seen an emotion? In fact, no. We infer that another person has an emotion because we see a facial expression, right? Change. Or we measure heart rate or skin conductance, which are kind of indirect measures of that some emotional thing has changed. Using brain imaging tools, we also know that there are different ways that emotions are generated. And then there's the awareness that I am feeling an emotion. Emotion is generated very rapidly in the human mind, body, more rapidly than conscious awareness. The feeling that I'm experiencing, anger or fear or awe or love, actually comes a little bit later. And there are parts of the brain that then experience that. Sensation, somatosensory cortex, insula, that has a felt sense of the body. And the emotions should, really, we can understand them as sources of information. There are emotions every moment that help me understand what's happening right now, not only internally in my own inner ecosystem, but in the people and the environment around me. So sadly, some people think that emotions are dangerous or need to be suppressed or repressed. But in fact, that's a misunderstanding. Emotions are a continuous, free source of information about what is happening right this moment. And the more refined our understanding of emotions, the more we can use them to navigate our environments and complex relationships. We have emotions probably to redirect and orient us to our environment. That's one level. We also have emotions because emotions help drive behavior. And then, for example, some specific emotions like love or, say, empathy. Empathy is that type of an emotion actually helps us to share our experience and to share what other people are feeling, right? Which is incredibly important if you're thinking about groups of people living together. An interest in and a salience towards understanding others. So in one way, emotions actually help us, not motivation, probably behavior. They probably also help us live as social animals with each other. And then, I don't know, we definitely have more words now for different labels for different kinds of emotions. Schadenfreude, right? And I'm sure that didn't exist when we were cave men and women, but maybe the experience existed. So, but I do think that right now we're going through a shift in our relationship to understanding the function of emotions as a resource, not a danger. So the term emotional intelligence, Mayer et al., it really refers to a whole set of capacities. It's not one thing in itself, but refers to the ability to have emotional awareness, discernment, empathy, and empathic resonance with others, to understand other people's emotions, emotion regulation, to be able to use different methods and tools to be able to up or down regulate specific emotions in specific contexts. But more colloquially, emotional intelligence has to do with, also being able to understand the emotions of oneself and others, to have a resilience, confidence, courage, and skillfulness in navigating emotions for the benefit of the people around us and ourselves. To have an optimally emotionally developed mind, our emotional intelligence could be described as somebody who has a full range of emotions, doesn't feel the need to actually control or suppress or repress any specific emotion, be it positive or negative valence, feels comfortable with the energy of different emotions, and that you can use emotions and the information that they provide to navigate through your day, to navigate the complexity of social relationships, to understand the intention of others, what others might be feeling, to bring care, compassion, skillfulness that's informed by an awareness of the emotions of others, and to become a fully developed, mature human being. So that's one way that might manifest. Can we have an optimally healthy mind that feels and experiences, maybe even generates, the full range of emotions? So maybe there's nothing wrong with anger or jealousy or even sadness, for example. Depending on the context, they may be very important to experience and even to express, right? So even times, maybe some Tibetans have done some behaviors that His Holiness the Dalai Lama thinks are not optimal, and maybe he uses the manifestation of anger to let them know. On a more mundane level, as a parent, we use anger to set boundaries so that our children or teenagers understand. So really it's that there's a skillfulness in using different emotions, experiencing them, expressing them in context-dependent ways for the benefit of others. And the key thing here is that we're not stuck or trapped in any specific emotion, but we have psychological flexibility to experience things and continue to shift and change.